stars in the sky, it's right. Things are gonna be the way they're gonna be. Couldn't make a right call, we couldn't take a right turn, and we're fixing for a downfall. So watch it out, burn. You live and you learn. You live and you learn. You crash and burn. While you live and you learn. You see the world keeps turning, turning, turning. Let the world keep turning, turning, turning.
Okay, so I'm just going to ask you a couple questions, a little more, give our audience a little bit more insight to you guys, a little more serious, I guess. Not nearly as fun questions, but so what got you guys into music? Like, do you guys come from musical backgrounds? So are your parents into music? Where does this music, love of music come from? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, my dad went to school for music and kind of taught us about music, and we all just kind of started going along that path and started with piano and stuff like that and continued on from there. And hopefully he's not too upset that I'm in a rock band now.
For me, yeah, it was my dad played the drums, and then it was kind of one of those things that both the parents kind of fed me with a ton of different influences, and my nan was a big operatically trained singer.
Nice.
And it was one of those things that she fed me a lot of Queen influences and stuff like that at a very young age, and I just kind of started trying to sing along, and it sounded very bad for a very long time, and then it started to sound okay, and then yeah, it's been ever since, just kind of meshing those influences.
Nice.
I'm going to follow in suit and say parents were really into music. My dad was a singer guitar player. My mom, pro clarinet player. She was really very musically brought up, and I always wanted to, I never wanted to play guitar. I wanted to jam with my dad. So drums were like a natural, and I was ridden with ADHD too, so I'm sure my mom was down with the drums too as an outlet. And then growing up in a small rural community, right? There's not a lot of things to do, so playing music was like the best option. So I used to try and figure out how to play other instruments. I still can't play them very well, but I try and learn enough to teach a friend here chords on a guitar and a friend here a bass line, so I could jam with them and tell them what to do. And they didn't last long, but
Nice. Nice. So you guys obviously have a very supportive family when it comes to music. So you guys meet, you guys decide, like, tell us the story. How does this band thing happen?
So yeah, the initial process, it was probably about, 10 years ago now, sort of thing. Different members, and then it was about 7 years ago now. Came across Sammy at Metalworks, and we were looking for a drummer. And it was one of those that we were outside, like on break from class in Mississauga. And it was one of those, oh, my buddy plays drum. Like, I think I was complaining about somebody who came and auditioned.
Oh.
No disrespect, I'm not going to name any names. But he's like, oh, well, my buddy plays drums. And then as soon as we had Sam out, it was one of those things that watching him as a drummer, as a unit sort of thing, just seeing everything move. And, like, he's so athletically gifted behind that drum set. if you throw him a ball, it's not. And then just a great guy, and it was one of those things that, like, we meshed really well right off the bat.
And you're saying we, so yourself and Ben.
Myself, Ben, and Tal as well too.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. Sam was in first. We had another member playing guitar at that time, sort of thing. He left, and then so Tal came in.
Okay.
Through Sam.
we just held auditions with our class at Metalworks.
It was literally going through the whole room. The best, 20K we spent each. And it was one of those things, though, that, like, we went through that and then just kind of meshed, and it was, like, just the puzzle pieces kind of fitting together. And then we could tell, like, it was one of those things that, like, when this gentleman came on board with us as well, who we met through a photographer friend, probably I want to say about 8 months after the fact of Tal coming in. It was, if that, and it was just kind of like complete and together, and then we just started working on very different material and going forward as a band, as a unit, and just having fun.
Nice. You guys are a group of 5. How do you guys, like, how do you communicate? How does a group of 5 make decisions for the band? Are some people more driven by certain aspects of the band, like maybe like design components or lyrically?
We always kind of like lay it down to a vote at the end of the day, sort of thing, and it's kind of that majority rules with said vote sort of thing. With 5, we've always got that one who will swing it whichever way, and I think everybody's been in that position of what was the question? Like
$1 bills in your back pocket.
Exactly, just get who wants it more. No, but it's kind of that, like, everybody has a piece. We've done it with songwriting, where we split our writing chunk sort of thing is 20% each sort of thing. So it's one of those that it's not like there's a boss of said band. It's one of those that we've always wanted to keep it kind of, everybody is part owner of this thing, of this ship sort of thing, so that if the flag or if the sail's not pushing the boat, you got to tell Sam to put the sail down because that's his job sort of thing. And it's kind of that nice mash and that nice match of, like, everybody owns it, everybody's on top of it, and it's not somebody going, this is how it sounds, this is what I want, this is, you know what I mean? It's kind of that neutral playing field, which is really nice.
Very cool. So what's next? What's coming up for you guys?
Where are you going in a few weeks, Jim?
I'm going to go down to LA with Tal.
What are you gonna do?
We're gonna write some songs and work with some people down there.
You guys were recently in Nashville too, right?
Yeah. So we're just demoing and getting all these tunes together and kind of sitting on them. Like, I just see, like, hamsters kind of sitting on top of a whole pile of nuts. And it's one of those things where it's like
Ladies and gentlemen.
Seeds. Is it seeds?
Most people don't know.
I think no, squirrels and nuts.
Yes.
So a fat squirrel on top of, like, a whole bunch of nuts, or a fat hamster with a bunch of seeds that he sat on. Which is kind of like that typical, like, bury the head into the sand and just write as much as possible, bring it to the guys, see what they think, put the kind of meat on the skeleton sort of thing, work it out as a unit, as a band, and see how it kind of comes out, and then hopefully track them soon. What's nice is there's no pressure right now with absolutely anything. We've been away, like, we played the one-off shows sort of thing. We have one, like, Saturday in Niagara, but it's one of those things that it's like we're not sprinting to do, like, tons of stuff. There's a lot of family stuff that's on the horizon for a lot of people. Like, this gentleman right here is going to get married soon.
Very nice.
And with that comes a honeymoon. So he's going to enjoy that thoroughly. And it's one of those things that we're not in any rush to do anything. So it's kind of nice to stockpile these tunes or these nuts and have it where it's like we're really taking our time with it. And everything's been kind of rushed, like, a lot of the times. Like, I love what we've done prior, but it's so weird having this where it's like there's no sort of, this is when it's due by, this is when we need it. There's none of that. So we can work and write something and be like, this is the best thing we've ever written. What do you guys think? And everybody's like, yeah, this is the best thing we've ever written. But it's one of those that the next week we can write something even better and one-up ourselves and be like, I'm in love with that one, forget about that one. And it's just stockpiling the arsenal for future.
Nice.
Future reference.
Nice. So one last question
Hopefully.
that we like to ask everyone, and each of you guys can answer it. If you were brewing your own beer, which of your songs would you name it, and what would be the secret ingredient?
That's a tough one.
We get that. People like this question, though.
This is a great question.
Oh, I've got it. I've got it. One of our own songs? Like,
Yes.
Okay. All right. Good. I'm just making sure. Can you hear me when I do that? So an older song of ours in our repertoire called "Don't Let It Stop You."
Oh, nice.
And I do a sessionable IPA.
What would your secret ingredient be?
Love, of course.
No.
Dry hops.
Dry hopped with love.
Oh god.
Dry hopped with love.
I'm not ready. I don't know why you're handing it to me.
Can I give you my idea?
Yes.
So we were talking, and because you know how with some of the beers you like pop off the top, and sometimes there's a little message, and I was like, each of them should have "the best is yet to come" on like each of the little pop off bottles.
She took yours,
I was giving you time to think.
Stalling.
Thank you. No, go on. Are you ready? Mine would be "Can't Save Me Now."
Nice.
'Cause I think these guys have both seen my eyes when I'm at that mode of "you can't save me now." I'm about to be somebody else and then asleep for
Yeah.
a long time.
Secret ingredient?
Vodka. just
Nice.
just to
to
ruin
really
everybody. Just be
destroy
like,
everybody.
you want to get messed up? Yeah, get messed up now.
That would be a vodka.
And it will be under the cap, so you wouldn't notice it until it came down on the floor. And like, no, what did I do? What did I do?
It's too late now.
Yeah, it's happened.
There's a really old song, well, not really old, but old for me. Old song called Dr. Jekyll. And I would have to add whiskey to the beer because everybody's Dr. Jekyll on whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Whether they admit it or not,
Yes.
everybody's got the side personality.
Totally.
Excellent.
We're happy
Excellent.
whiskey drinkers.
All really good.
So basically, if these guys open a brewery under the band name, don't ever drive there. Ever. Or don't even.
Words of our
It should be-
Toronto-based guitar player, Uber home.
Yeah.
Uber.
Yeah.
What's that?
Right? Well, thanks so much, guys, for doing this.
Thank you.
Again, we are beerx.ca. You can find us on all our social media channels at beerx.ca across the board, and we can find these guys on their social media channels at
AscotRoyals.com.
across the board for all of them.
Everything.
Yeah. Yeah, Ascot Royals, yeah.
Perfect. We will actually link all of their social medias in the following posts that this video will be attached to. And again, we are Beers with Bands with Ascot Royals, and cheers, guys.
Confident in their ways, scream when there's nothing to say. Shake it, you take mine, disconnect to a say. My image in the true light, guilty on the inside, counting down